So we are live. Let's get my glasses on. We've got a match preview of Everton versus Arsenal at Goodison Park. Oh yeah, I forgot to start on more of the intro as well. My sub intro. Let me just give you guys that because I said it's going to get played until the season ends.
We've been up all night. There's no one around here. We've had them all lined up against the wall.
If he was a toe rag from around a manor, we'd know.
We'd know.
You know! You fucking know! You wouldn't have us next door fucking neighbours! Now get out there and find them! I'm sick of that fucking sight! Get out of my fucking sight! You little shit!
Yeah, anyways, let me just take a quick picture of this and share it to my Instagram story. So, Everton versus Arsenal at Goodison Park. This is our last visit at Goodison Park before they move into their fancy new stadium that they don't deserve, in my opinion. But that's not what this video is about. Yeah, and obviously we've got Gabriel that's out for the season now with a torn hamstring. Yeah, so you look at these goofy injuries. You've got a guy that can't run who tore his hamstring, aka Kai Havertz. I just want you lot to let that marinate. A guy who can't run tore his hamstring. You know what I mean? I imagine you're not known for being a runner. You're not somebody who's really, you're not a World Cup type of player or anything like that. I mean, I'm not saying that nobody can tear their hamstring because they can, but when somebody that can't run tearing a whole hamstring, I'm sorry, questions need to be asked. Too many men for my liking are tearing shit up. You know what I mean? So now Gabriel's the latest on the injury table with a torn hamstring. What is going on in training? You see, because we did all this work to finish second, yeah, twice on the spin, with no reply that suggests we're now trying to take it over the line, yeah. And look where we are now. You know what I mean? But we're finishing second, aren't we? We're putting pressure on, aren't we? We got all these injuries though. That's enough for this fan base. That's just enough for this fan base. You know what I mean? So now we all know that the excuse for when Slot wins the league. The excuse is we had injuries. And it's amazing that Arteta got us finishing second with Saka being injured, Gabriel being injured now, Martinelli being injured, Odegaard being injured, Ben White being injured, Timber being injured for some parts, Calafiori being injured. You know what I mean? That's where we are. We told this fucker, yeah, this manager, everybody told him what you need to get back up for certain players, blah blah blah. Yeah. Obviously, Gabriel injured now. Now, I'm not going to do revision history type of thing. I'm not going to make out that I've been crying for Gabriel to get benched in few games or whatever. Yeah, because we know centre backs they can play near enough every game, more than your wingers and all that stuff. But they still have to do some running. They still have to track back and everything like that. Yeah. But you look at the bigger picture and you think to yourself, there's games Gabriel played 90 minutes. He didn't need to play 90 minutes. Like, for example, Gabriel and Saliba, they don't always have to play 90 minutes. You know what I mean? If we're winning comfortably, you could take one off. But you see, Arteta's not a good fucking manager, though. You know what I mean? He ain't that good of a manager. So he's going to leave his best on. Now, those of you who are here, yeah? You've watched me on FC25, yeah? You notice how I always take off like nearly everyone in every position that I can. Yeah. You know why I can do that? Is because most of the time I'm winning the game. 2, I'm looking at the fitness levels. You know what I mean? And that's just the game. Now, if I wasn't winning many games, for example, on FC25, yeah, there's going to be players I'm going to want to leave on because the players that are on the bench, I don't think they're going to be good enough to try and turn this round. You know what I mean? But that goes to show how shit I am at FC25 if I'm at that level. That's Arteta. That's him. You know what I mean? Let's face it. Since Kivior, yeah, he hasn't signed anyone to be a centre back. You know what I mean? He hadn't done that. You know what I mean? And not that we were all asking for it, because he signed Calafiori, who is a centre back that's playing left back. Yeah. There was only one game he played at centre back, and that was against Bolton in the cup, I think it was. You know what I mean? You won't see that again. Arteta, he's not a good manager. That's why he doesn't chop and change like that. He's allergic to signing forwards anyway. He's just allergic to forwards. Let's just keep it like that. He's allergic to forwards. You know what I mean? And he ain't gonna like take Sleeper off. Literally, right? The only times I remember him taking Sleeper or Gabriel off is when they've been injured. That's the only time he subbed them. I mean, now I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to turn around and say I in particular was crying for the fact that he wasn't resting Sleeper and Gabriel in, even though there was some games where it's like, like a cup, like for example against PSV, I think I said something like Saliba and Gabriel don't need to play at the same time, whatever. But yeah, the lack of versatility. He has this fetish, this so-called fetish for versatility. I told you guys, his fetish for versatility is detrimental to this squad. You see, I know I sound like a broken record, but I've said before, and I stand by it. Me wanting Arteta out is bigger than just him not winning trophies. It's bigger than that. It's his man management, right? It's the way he manages his players when they're coming back from injury and everything like that. It's that shit. He'll play players that don't need to see a full 90 or 120 minutes. He'll just play them though. You know what I mean? He'll play them. If we're a goal down or few in the second leg of the Champions League against Real Madrid, right? And we manage to take it to extra time, Saka's playing 120 minutes. Watch. And that's the shit I'm talking about. Yeah? When others can sit and turn around and say, look, maybe so-and-so needs a rest. This player doesn't need to play 90 minutes. Maybe this, maybe that. And he's not doing it. That's when you know. So, yes, Gabriel out for the season. Kivior now is in place. Now we just got to hope Kivior can just stay alert and be sharp. You know what I mean? A bit of a big ask because he doesn't play games. You know what I mean? And when he does get a sniff of a game, he's playing at left back because you can't afford to take Gabriel or Saliba out. Now we end up paying for that, just like we paid for Saka being out for 2 months or 3 months, 4 months. We paid for that. You know what I mean? You watch. If let's just say we sign Gyökeres, because what I believe is if we sign a striker, yeah, it's going to be that striker, and it's not going to be anything else added around it. Yeah, that striker. Let's just say whoever it is, Isak, Gyökeres, whoever it is, yeah, he's going to run them into the ground the same way he did Saka, the same way he's doing what he did with Gabriel. He's going to do the same thing. Watch. That's what he'll do. He's going to run them into the fucking ground. Watch. If that striker, if we sign a striker and he starts blitzing, he starts being our Haaland, Arteta will overplay him to the rascal. Yeah, he'll play 90 minutes, 120 minutes, all that shit, and then we'll be back to square one, complaining that he's not resting that player because he's overplaying him with 5-0 up in a game, and that striker's still playing 90 minutes. Watch, and that is why I want this guy gone because his man management is poor. Yeah, they'll get fooled by finishing second. All this, oh, he finished second in the team. I can read this guy like a book. I'm telling you, I can read him like a book. It pisses me off every time I talk about this. You know what I mean? This is meant to be the match preview of the Everton game, but I got sidetracked because obviously Gabriel's injured for the rest of the season. And when you look at how Arteta has managed this team and the players, you can't help but Tom Daly into the situation, dive in. I see that I've got some comments, but I'll read them soon. I'll just touch on the match preview. So we've got Everton, who, have just come off the back of losing the Merseyside derby. Banter club. Like Everton. I knew the one saving grace to, Liverpool might slip a little bit. They might Gerrard this league a little bit. Yeah, was Everton. Yeah. It's one of them, obviously the drew at Goodison Park, Everton had to scrape back and get a draw, right? But, it's Liverpool were 10 points clear at that point, that 0-0. Everton, you had a chance to do something. I haven't seen the highlights or anything, so I don't know how good or poor any side played. Yeah? But Everton, you had a chance, but you got and lost 1-0. Like, but Everton never win at Anfield. Anyway, so we can't expect none of that. You know what I mean? They only can win there without fans. But yeah, so we've got Everton at 12:30 tomorrow, and yeah, they're coming off the back of a 1-0 defeat to Liverpool on Wednesday night, which pulled Liverpool back 12 clear. Cheers, Everton. Thanks for trying to do something. You know what I mean? Try. Y'all were buzzing when Newcastle beat them in the cup final. Y'all were buzzing. You know what I mean? When it's your turn now, you know what I mean? Again, when Liverpool, for the amount of games they've lost this season in all competitions, right? If one of those losses came in the Premier League instead, you know what I mean? Like they lost against Spurs in the first leg of the EFL Cup, lost against Plymouth in the FA Cup, lost against PSG in the second leg of the Champions League, and lost against Newcastle in the EFL Cup final. Yeah, if those 4 losses were in the Premier League, we'd be top of the league. I think. No, we'd be level on points, bare minimum. You know what I mean? I mean, that's 12 points Liverpool wouldn't have had. So yeah, we'd be level on points with Liverpool. But the losses had to come in games where points don't matter, didn't it? In fact, the loss against PSV, didn't they, in the Champions League? So that's another loss. So if those 5 losses were in the Premier League instead, you know what I mean, we'd be above them. Toffees have actually competed well against better sides in the division so far this term. With the Liverpool loss, just their second from their 7 games against top 6 sides. They fell to defeat last time Arsenal visited Goodison Park. That was Everton's only loss in the last 6 home league head-to-heads. Yeah, because Everton have got a good record against us. They've got a good record against us in recent times. Obviously, we won there last season, but but the last time we played Everton was at the Emirates and we drew 0-0. Drew 0-0. So Everton could come to Emirates and get a point. They couldn't go Anfield and take anything. Nope. Of course not. Cheers. Arsenal were left frustrated by their host, failed to pull off a result on Wednesday at Anfield with the hopes of a first Premier League title in 21 years, diminishing by the week. yeah, we've got a 1% chance of winning the league now. Liverpool got 99% of the chance of winning the league. Like, you know what I mean? And we all know it's done, but you just cling on to hope that Liverpool can Gerrard this league because, you know, if it's Man City that's 12 behind at this point, you know what I mean? And let's just say they keep winning games, Liverpool bums the twitch. But like I said, be thankful, Liverpool fans. Be thankful it's only Arsenal that have Arteta. You know what I mean? So we can reduce the points to 9 with a win over Everton until Liverpool play on the Sunday, I think. Liverpool play, who do they play? They play Fulham away on Sunday. So we could go 9 points behind. We could reduce it to 9 points, sorry, if we beat Everton, which in all fairness, I've been saying I think we'll beat Everton. But now they've just come off a loss against Liverpool. It's like, yeah, we've seen Everton have back-to-back losses and everything like that, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm going with a win. Let's go to the head-to-heads. So Everton they haven't won in the last 5 games. They've drawn 4 and lost 1 in the last 5. I didn't even know it was that bad at the moment. You know what I mean? I didn't even know. When's the last time they won? Crystal Palace at Palace in the Premier League, 2-1. This is the last time they won, and that was on the 15th of February. And that's impressive for them to beat Palace. But yeah, it's Moyes came into Everton and he started getting them points and that. Like Moyes came in January, wasn't it? Because when they lost to Bournemouth 1-0, I don't think that was Moyes, was it? I don't think that was Moyes' team. I think that was Sean Dyche, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Sean Dyche when they lost against Bournemouth. And I think that was the last straw for him. Let me just quickly go back to it. Yeah, and then when they beat Peterborough, that was when Moyes took over. Yeah. Oh no, it was Ferguson, Duncan Ferguson. So I think Moyes came back. It was that 1-0 loss against Villa at Goodison Park. Yeah. So from the Villa game, he won 3 games in a row, beating Spurs, Brighton, and Leicester. Then lost in the FA Cup against Bournemouth, and then he drew against Liverpool, then beat Palace. Then he drew his next 4, then lost against Liverpool. So yeah, and let me just go to our last 5. Oh no, I don't know why I predicted what I predicted. So we've won 3 of our last 5, drawing 2, and we've won our last 2 in the Premier League. So if we beat Everton, that's the first time we win 3 games on the spin this season. That'll be the first time. Yeah, I might have to change my score prediction because what I know about this team is that we don't win 3 games on the spin. We just don't. So again, I think Liverpool, what do they need? 5 wins. It's going to be reduced to 4. I forgot that we won the last 2. My score prediction for this game was Everton 1, Arsenal 2. I'm inclined to change that. I think Everton beat us 1-0. I think Everton beat us 1-0. That's personally what I think. I think, in fact, let me check the forgot to check. Not that it really matters now because we know who's out. We know who ain't playing. So Calafiori, Gabriel, Jesus, Havertz, and Tomiyasu all injured, all will not play. Ben White and Timber have knee injuries and they're questionable. I think Timber's expected to be back for this game. Yeah. Yeah, we're fucked. Anyways, let me oh, there we are. No. Where did I find it now? Oh yeah, that's where it is. Big up to you in the chat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat to so if anyone wants to come up and talk, they can do. So, oops. Meant to pin it. I meant to pin that. Oh, the star. Right. Big up to Warren and Rod in the building. Question needs to be asked for our medical staff at this club and training staff. Needs to be. Top gunners and pundits, even some rivals will gaslight us and try and give us a reason why Arteta is a good manager. Yeah, because what they'll use is we finished second. Oh, Arteta's doing a good job, mate. They're gonna use all that shit. Honestly, it pisses me off. Big up to you, Rod. Kivior is shy. I mean, I personally think there's a bit of a player in there. I just think that because he's not getting used very often, like for example, if Saliba was on the bench as much as Kivior and barely getting game time, he'd struggle as well. Just coming in like this, and you know what I mean? Because he hasn't been playing much. You know what I mean? He hasn't been playing much. You, Rod.
Right, brother.
It just fuming that another injury on our hands. The training methods, the questions need to be asked and answered. You know what I mean? Top players like play all the games, plays most minutes, pissing me off. Yeah, like all they'll say is the Artetins, they'll just justify all this by saying, well, if we started resting Gabriel Saliba, then we'd all complain at not playing. You know what I mean? It'll just be those, Yeah, I think the last time we played at 12:30, we lost against Newcastle. I think it was. In fact, let me check that. Anyways, what we're saying, Rod?
I'm good, man. I'm good, thank you. I'm going for 1-0 tomorrow.
1-0. I went with 2-1, but then I only just realized that we won our last 2 games, and we haven't won 3 games on the spin yet this season. So I've had to retract it and be like, "Nah, we ain't gonna win then."
You know what?
I think Everton will beat us 1-0. The Everton are due a win now.
1-0. 1-0.
Wouldn't surprise me if it's 1-0. They'll score first or something, and then we'll have to scrape an equalizer, just like against Man U. It'd probably that type of game.
I'm not sure about Kivior though. He hasn't looked too. I'm not sure about him.
Wait, no. I'm wrong. No, we haven't won 4 games in a row in the Premier League. That's what I got wrong. Yeah, we won 3 in a row, just not 4.
4. Well,
big up to Warren in the building.
I'm probably going for 1-0. 1-0. 1-0, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's all about hope. It's all hope lately. There's no real play in the team. You know?
Yes, it's one of those, obviously we're 12 behind, but you're just thinking to yourself, there's that little bit in you that thinks, what if Liverpool lose like
Of course. Hoping.
Like lose 2 games on a spin or start drawing games and we just keep winning. What
Yeah.
if that happens, kind of thing? I want to believe that might happen, but the chances of it happening, it's just no chance.
I
I'm
know.
looking at Liverpool's fixtures now. Fulham away, West Ham at home, Leicester away. It's the only period where I think Liverpool could slip anywhere is that period of playing Spurs at home, even though Spurs will let them win. Chelsea away, then they've got us at home, then Brighton away, then Palace at home. That's the only way I could see any potential Gerrard, the Slippy G moments. Otherwise, I can't see where they've got 2 o'clock kickoff, then 2 o'clock kickoff, half four with us, a 3 o'clock, and then the last game is 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I can't see it, so I can't predict that.
It's not that. If it was City, or you can feel it. Remember when this has happened before, when teams have been pegged back, you can feel the sort of energy, or there's no hope in this team. There's no style of play. It's just not there. As much as we want to hope, we know it's not there because there's nothing there. We haven't. This team hasn't even got started this season. That's the sad thing. It's ending now. We haven't got started. Haven't won 4 games in a trot.
You have to hope for the Champions League.
Sup, guys? Can you hear me?
Hello, Warren.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're not moving. I think your connection's stuck or something.
Yeah, it's all black.
Yeah, it's there's no. You're frozen. Oh, I can see you moving now a little bit now. Yeah, I can see you moving now.
Yeah.
Just connection's not the strongest. But yeah, Champions League's all we got when you think about it, and it's like,
the sad thing is, how we're saying the Champions League's all we've got. I think sadly that might be where we get found out this season, so to speak. But what we're saying is there's been no style of play. They've never got started. I think it's going to be in the Champions League. We get found out against Real. Of course, I want to be wrong, but come on, man. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's just like I just look at it and it's like, okay, we've got Real Madrid. Obviously, we played a bit different in the Champions League in terms of like the teams. Like most fans rather have got Real Madrid than Atletico Madrid. I personally rather have got Real Madrid anyway, just because, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out that we're both fighting. Not go out because we can't break that team down that's just standing there. You know what I mean? I can't stand that. So for entertainment purposes, it's going to be more of a fun game to watch against Real Madrid than Atletico. But when you
100%, we just struggle to break down low blocks as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we struggle to break down the low blocks and everything. But at the same time, coming up against Mbappe's in them, and we've got Kivior that has to take care of them.
Yeah, you don't want to be playing Atty in that respect, but
yeah,
it's sadly I can't listen. As good as everyone says our defense is, it's not looked that good this season. And I think West Ham, Bournemouth, these teams have tore us up. So come on, man, you know what Real Madrid are going to do.
I'm losing Gabriel just before it as well.
Exactly.
I mean,
I would rather have been without Saka than be without Gabriel for this game because we've rushed Saka back as it is already. Like Saka, we shouldn't even be playing Saka until the new season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think we're beating Real Madrid anyway, regardless. But the fact that Gabriel's out now, like before, I was thinking, I wasn't even thinking that we'll get slapped by Madrid.
Yeah.
But with Gabriel out now, I don't know. Put it this way, I think we could be in for a rude awakening, especially these fucking toxic positive fans. I'm fed up with them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of, I think at the Emirates, because obviously the Emirates one's the first one, I can see us getting slapped 3-0. I'm not going to lie. I can see.
Yeah, so can I. So can I. Yeah.
You feel like that, where everyone talks about, oh, Arsenal's home form in the Champions League is this and is that, and then everyone's saying about, oh, well, we're the only team to beat Real Madrid at Bernabeu, English team to beat them at the Bernabeu. Oh, they've never beaten us. This, that, bring on Madrid, and then they'll come to the Emirates and spank us. That's what I can see happening.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably go.
And that was back in 2006. Like, do people really think we're the same team that in 2006 as in 2025? Like, come on now.
And it was a world class striker that scored the goal.
Yeah, we don't have Henry. Yeah, exactly. We don't have Henry anymore. We don't have
none of that.
We don't have Fabregas anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's insane, but let's just hope that these toxic positives. Let's just hope that they prove that they were right in terms of we can get past Real Madrid and we can possibly win this competition. But even if we get past Real Madrid, we've got PSG or Aston Villa, and I don't want an English team. I don't want to face another English team. I want PSG over Aston Villa. You know what I mean? If we were to get through,
especially
Real Madrid.
Especially,
yeah. Imagine Emery of all people knocking us out. Could you imagine?
I know. The thing is, they're going Wembley anyway for the FA Cup semi-final, so it's going to be interesting to see how he manages it. He's in the final, and he's in a semi-final of another one. It's going to be interesting because it's really going to test the mentality of a club like Aston Villa with a manager like Emery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
I hope Forest actually win that. To be honest, now I want Forest to win the FA Cup.
Yeah, Forest for the FA Cup for me. I don't want I like Palace.
Forest,
but they're a London club, and I have a strict.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah.
I can't have another London club winning something.
Imagine me. Well, YG, imagine me living in London.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine what I have to go through if I see them win it?
Yeah.
I won't hear the end of it. So
that's what I mean.
Warren had it for years.
So what's that?
I'd had it for years, just living in London and Arsenal being shit, and especially what we were talking about the last time, watching Chelsea achieve dream.
Oh, don't.
Come on, that's enough for Man. I mean, come on now.
I'm 35 now, and throughout mostly the best part of my life, like throughout my teens, early 20s, is Chelsea, who I've had to watch, like, just dominate.
And
do you know what I mean? And honestly, don't.
And you've got to give them their due. It was fucking good football, good effective football that won shit.
Yeah. And look at that Chelsea team that won the Champions League in 2012. They were nowhere near as good as that 2008 team that got to the final.
Yeah,
but look, they won it.
Yeah, want all that. That Liverpool team that won it in 2005. They want all that. The Chelsea team of 2012 and 2021. They want all that. We've seen way better Chelsea teams than that. You know what I mean?
And that 2021 team. Remember, early on in the season, they had Lampard. And then Tuchel came in and look what they did.
Yeah, but yet fans will say, "Oh no, you can't just sack managers." And then this is what kills me, right? Even back in the later Wenger days, when people were saying, "Get Wenger out" and blah blah blah, and you had Arsenal fans that were saying, "You can't just sack managers all the time." When you've literally just watched Chelsea do it and win everything that we were told we're going to compete for.
Guess what? Hey, my friend said to me, "We don't." He goes, "Nah. We don't want to be like Chelsea." I went, "You are? They've won 2 Euros."
So they don't want to win then.
That's what
they don't want to win, basically. You know.
When I said about the managers,
unbelievable
managers. My mate Jamie Oxley, you in Brentford, lives in Brentford. Yeah, you, Jamie. Oh, I've got to show him that. Honestly, that's what he said to me.
It's insane, but they can say that. Absolutely. Oh, we're not a sacking club, and this, that, and the other. And it's like literally Chelsea.
And where's that got us? and we're not stacking up. Where's that got us over the years?
We just got some
What,
FA
what,
Cups.
what a couple of FA Cups.
That's why they take the piss out of Arsenal, because all this bullshit, women left Highbury, all this that we were meant to go and achieve, all this pretty pass. Listen, I don't care how good it looks, playing the Arsenal way, trying to be Ajax. That's what Arsenal were trying to do. Like they're trying to be. They're gonna
Yeah.
one fuck
Oh.
European Cups. Ajax actually won European Cups and they were playing all their pretty football. But you know, Arsenal. And so shut up, Arsenal. That we deserve to have the piss taken out of us. That's why everyone's.
We do, yeah.
Fans are. When
Come
the
on.
fans are just gassing up, you know, oh, we did this, we did that. Like we'll still. I'm surprised we haven't built a statue for Reece Nelson's volley against Bournemouth. I'm surprised we haven't done something like that, because we'll go back to that.
Don't give them ideas, bro. They might do that. Don't give them ideas.
This season, they'll do the same thing this season with beating City 5-1. I mean, didn't I see something? What did I see the other day? It was some pointless win that we got that didn't mean anything, and I'm sure. I don't know if it was over there. It might be another week. I think I shared it on my Instagram, and it's like, why do we go back to those? Oh, it was when we beat Leicester at the Emirates. Danny Welbeck in the 2016 season when he scored that late goal.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
A pointless goal. What did it mean? It didn't mean anything in the end. Like Leicester won the league. We if anything, it's worse because we were the only ones that did the double over them that season, and we got that late goal, which I think at the time it put us top of the league or something, or kept us top of the league at that point. Leicester ended up winning the league. Why are we still going back to that? As oh yeah, remember when this happened? I got goosebumps. You know what I mean? It meant nothing. Absolutely nothing. If anything,
that's why we're just the red Spurs, because this is what Spurs do. Like all Spurs fans will do, and their club will do is, oh, remember we made it to that Champions League final 2019.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, remember we stopped Arsenal for winning the league last season.
Yep.
Exactly.
We're not going to be any more different to them. Nothing. We're just red.
That's why
just red Spurs.
The way that Chelsea take the piss out of us, like, they've got a right to take the piss out of us. We used to be fucking Arsenal. We used to be fucking feared. Not play pretty tap fucking football. We used to be big, strong fucking men like defenders, hard to break through. Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, impossible to break through. No, tap. But all this 100, walk the ball into the back of the net. The Arsenal, what? That's not the Arsenal fucking way. And ever since you've been playing like that, guess what you've won? That's what, when I said to you the other day, YG, I said a couple of shitty FA Cups, and you said, oh, the FA Cup's not shit. And I said, nah, I'm not saying the FA Cup was shit, but I'm saying for a club of our stature, to walk away with a cup.
I mean, obviously, we all want the cups and everything.
Yeah, of course we do.
And I want the FA Cups, but at the same time, it's like, especially what we've moved in here for, like, give me some league titles as well. Like, give me some of them, because I've had to watch our rivals. Let's just say all our rivals, but Spurs. We've had to watch them win. We've watched Man United, Liverpool, City, Chelsea. They've all won the league title since we last won the league title. They've all won European trophies since we last won the league title. That's not acceptable.
They've equaled what? Get to the fucking final. Guess what?
Wiped our European history. Chelsea did in a short span of time. Unacceptable.
And West Ham, they won the Conference League as well.
People will try and shit talk that trophy. I'm sorry, that's still a European trophy in my eyes. That's the third tier of European competition. That's better than anything that we can win right now. Well, not anything we can win right now, but it's better.
Do you know what? If I had to pick between winning the Carabao Cup and that Conference League, I'm picking the Conference League every day. I'm picking the Conference League because we've got no European heritage at all. I'm picking that.
Yeah,
it's a major honour. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
We haven't won anything since this. Just come on. They're a joke.
Yeah.
Fucking European football.
But give me the Carabao Cup any day. It's the trophy. You know.
Yeah, people try and shit talk it. I'm not listening to that. Like, you know, as I said, if we were in the conference or anything, I'd want us to go and win it. You know what I mean? It's a European trophy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll get bantered for it, but I won't care. You know what I mean? More likely to win that than the Champions League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or the Europa League, because remember we struggled to even win that as well.
Yep, we have more chance of winning Europa League, even though we still couldn't win it. We got to a couple semi-finals. I think Wenger took us to one. Then Emery took us to a final, and then I think Arteta took us to 2. I think, or was it 1? I think it might have been 1.
So many years have gone.
I remember he took us to a semi-final in his second season. I'm sure he took us to Europa.
Was it the Olympiacos one?
Who? Wenger?
No, that was Villarreal under Emery. I think it was Villarreal under Emery. Yeah.
2021. Yeah. So, you know, we haven't seen a semi-final of Champions League since 2009. Right, that's a very long time.
No,
it's I know.
Ridiculous.
I know. That's why. Listen, that's why they all take the piss out of us. And now, when I look back at it, come on, man, it's fair game and banter. Come on, it is.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah, we have to eat it. We'll have to eat it. We'll have to just deal with the fact that
it is.
Look, you're a banter club, and this is where you are.
It's funny though how football rolls around because no way, man. Arsenal didn't used to be this week. It never used to be. Come on, I mean, it never used to be. You know, up there, but it never used to have a early like.
That's
my mum and dad.
What does that say? My mum and dad should be very proud for the job that they are. For fuck's sake!
Look underneath. Look what it says underneath. Look what it said. Look at the small print.
I can't.
Let me have a look. Arteta on being voted the best.
Look, Premier League.
Being voted.
I'm checking out.
Best looking Premier League manager.
Oh, that Lego head, that Kurt. What was that Kurt with that Lego head?
Oh.
What has this become? We've got a dating show, and then we've got this whole voted the best looking manager. So this, I suppose, this is his trophy this season. Then.
No, you know the dating show. There was something about it on Talk Sport. I thought, fucking hell, are they serious? What are they trying to do? Humiliate us.
They're doing a whole. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We even got John Terry and them bantering us. I'm trying to get the video. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hold on.
So is Evra and Patrice Evra. He bantered us saying, even though what you said is the truth, that we're next season FC. So it is true. We are.
Oh,
that's one thing we have in common. Right, I'll see you in this week. Yeah, it is. And I think, to be honest, Arsenal, I think they might as well just throw the towel in now.
Yeah, they're gone.
They're gone.
I agree.
I don't think they've made a group chat.
No, you know what? They might come second again, mightn't they?
Yeah, that's true. They could go second again. And, of course, there's always next season.
Yeah, exactly. They go again.
They go again. Right.
Bruno, isn't it?
Hang on a minute. Where is it?
Crying to me, and I'm not having it.
That's how much of a banter club we are. I hope that all the players saw that. I hope they saw that and thought, nah, fuck this.
100%.
That is the fact that like this banter is nothing new either. It's nothing new. It's not a foreign language. Everybody knows about it. Next season FC, Arsenal's like Netflix, blah blah blah. You know, I remember back in the time when even like between the 9-year trophy draw, all the banter we were hearing of Arsenal not winning a trophy. You know, well, when Arsenal will lift the trophy, they haven't won a trophy since 2005, and everything like that. And
especially from United fans. I got it real bad from United fans back in those times because they still had Ferguson at them times. They still had that. They'd just come off the back of winning the Champions League 2008. went to that Champions League final in 2009. Even though they got absolutely embarrassed by Barcelona, but still. But I never heard the end of it from these United fans, and then so when they fell off after 2013,
we were all
we're going to see so happy.
I know.
That's this, and even when we ended the trophy draw in 2014, and then we ended up retaining the FA Cup, which is not easy to do, right? Then it became because I remember Paul Merson said it. He said it. I think it was the 20. I think it might have been it would have been a 2015 season, and he was talking about the EFL Cup, and he said, and it was probably because Chelsea got to the final because he's a Chelsea fan. But he said the EFL Cup's arguably bigger than the FA Cup, and I thought I never heard this talk before we ended our trophy draw of the FA Cup. Since then. Since we got our hands on it now, the FA Cup became less of a trophy. That's what that's the narrative.
If the Carabao Cup to less of a trophy, how comes we've not won it in over 30 years?
The thing is,
if it's a bigger trophy.
The thing is,
seriously, back in the day, you know what I mean? When I was a teenager, and it was just back then.
Retaining the FA Cup, there's only 5 teams that have done it. Like the FA, teams. I'd say there's been more clubs that have retained the league title than the FA Cup, probably. I mean, Arsenal have retained the league title in the history. Chelsea have. Liverpool have. Man United have. Man City have. I'm sure somebody else did it.
Did you mention Chelsea?
Yeah. Somebody else definitely has retained the league title. The only teams that exist that have retained the FA Cup is Blackburn, Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham. Only clubs that retain the FA Cup. That just goes to show you how hard winning that competition back to back is. You got Man U getting to back to back finals, the winning one and losing one. You got City got back to back finals, winning one and losing one. Like it's not easy, but you know, if Arsenal were dominating the FA Cup like in recent times, the way City were dominating the EFL Cup in the late 2020s, late 2010s, early 2020s, they'd start saying, "Oh, the FA Cup is not much of a trophy." Notice how they're not saying that about the EFL Cup. Nobody's saying the EFL Cup's like the media. I mean, nobody's saying that. Oh, well, it's the EFL Cup's not blah blah blah. But if Arsenal winning it, they'll be saying something. You got Liverpool who are about to win the league, and they're being treated like winning the league is nothing because you didn't win it with the EFL Cup. You know what I mean? So you just got that just goes to show you how much they are putting on the EFL Cup. The fact Liverpool didn't win that to win alongside the league title. Let us start winning EFL Cups. Watch, it'll become a shit trophy, and that's what they'll do. That's how the media will.
People were saying the FA Cup was a Mickey Mouse trophy when we were winning it.
Yep.
Well, at least I was being told. I remember I had a few United fans, mates, and just a few other rival fans try to tell me it's the Mickey Mouse Cup. But all of a sudden now we're not winning it. All of a sudden now I'm being told, oh, we should be winning it now. Like, it's like, make up your mind. What is it?
Yeah, we've heard that it's it doesn't count unless it's part of a treble, and we all know who said that, don't we?
10 fucking Heisenberg blood.
Yeah.
See, the thing is,
man, like Rance, you know.
The thing is, City, right? You got to give them their credit. They've become so goddamn good, and what Pep's achieved, like since he's been there. I know they've fallen off this year, but what Pep did, I was like, you know, as a football fan, you know, we had to just boom, you just got to love it. You know, the football we're looking at, it was beautiful and it was amazing, and it beat the fucking world. And what I'm talking about now is it won. It won. That's all I give a fuck about. Dominate, becoming the best, beat Bayern, dominate. You know, and because City and what they did, and because they've achieved and become that good, that's why now the EFL and the FA, none of these things were Mickey Mouse, because of the level that City had taken football to.
Raise the bar.
Else could win.
Yeah.
And
exactly, yeah.
the route into anything else, like the route into the Europa. These are major honours, and it's only because City reached such a pinnacle the previous year in football that anybody else. But you can't believe it's the same team. You're thinking, what has happened there? Because how good they were. And I thought, we could have, we might not get. I mean, we might be strong this year, but we could have missed the boat. We could have missed the boat over the last 2 years.
I said all this time, the moment City fall off, watch, it won't be us that pounce. There was somebody else will come up and thing. And I said this because I knew that this would happen if we kept Arteta and I've just seen the patterns, and I can see that if City were to just go away, for example, that the pattern would play out, and I knew it would, and it pisses me off that I was right. But this season, I had belief. I thought, now I think we'll win something this season, and I thought it'll be the FA Cup. We'll get knocked out of everything. We won't, win the league or anything like that, and we'll still be in the FA Cup. We got Man United, even though how we were playing around that time. I still thought to myself, no, we'll get past Man United in the FA Cup, and we'll.
I knew we were getting knocked out. I'll be real. Yeah. I knew from the beginning.
I remember you saying that. You didn't think that we'll be.
I was more. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I had confidence. I thought, no, we'll get past them. We'll get past them. In my head, I was thinking, going by what I've seen, really, it's hard to back it, but because I backed.
Yeah, no, I do hear your point. You were going along the line of thinking where, we're not going to win the league, or we're not going to win the other trophies. So you're along the lines of thinking of, well, FA Cup's all we got left. I get that, but no, I just look at these last 5 years. The way this manager has just not taken a single fucking cup seriously, or any European competition for that matter, just bin them just to try and focus on the league. I just knew.
The FA Cup against Newcastle.
And I looked at the way we were performing in some games in the league this season. For me, it was the Chelsea game. The Chelsea game at the Bridge, that did it for me. That was the game where that solidified my Arteta out stance for me. That Chelsea game away, I looked at that game and it was off the back of other games away we dropped points. That was it. I was already on thin ice with him before that, but that Chelsea game, that was it. I was officially Arteta out from that point.
Yeah.
Warren.
Sorry, say that again.
Oh, sorry. Refresh my memory. I'm getting old. I can't remember what happened in that last Chelsea game.
Well, I remember I'm pretty sure that we dropped points to Brighton of like a month or so before that, and there was some other games I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what they were.
Yep, because when we drew to Brighton, I said I called the league off. I said we're not winning the league. I knew from then that there was going to be more bullshit. The Chelsea game, who scored for us in that game? Was it
Chelsea?
Who scored for us? The only I seem to remember the 2-2.
Let me have a look it up. I can't remember myself. Let me see if I can look it up.
I remember the 2-2 last season when we were 2-0 down and Trossard and Rice scored, but I'm trying to remember this season's one.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
I don't know why I'm struggling to remember this one.
That's right, because I remember speaking.
Let me have a look. Chelsea versus Arsenal. I think it was November. Let me have a look.
Played him a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? Arsenal played Chelsea. I remember now because my sister's boyfriend. We was talking.
Oh no, but that was when we played them at home. I'm talking about when we played them at the Bridge earlier in the season.
I see.
All right, yeah.
1-1. Yeah, 1-1.
Oh yeah, it was when Kai Havertz scored the offside goal, and then because
Martinelli scored, and then Neto scored in the 70th minute.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, as soon as I saw
and Kai
Havertz disallowed goal thing there on 32 minutes, I remember straight away. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. That was just
After that game, I knew what was to come for the rest of the season. I could just sense it. I said to people, watch what happens in the FA Cup. And as soon as I saw we were drawing against United, I was just like, guys, this could be a long night. And I actually went to that game as well. Like my mate convinced me to go to that game. I don't know why I let my mate convince me to go to that game. So I only went to that game, right? I only went to that game because what was it? His mate, he had a ticket, but he dropped out. So I was offered a ticket to go to it. And the worst thing about it is, before that game, I'd never ever been to the Emirates and where we'd lost a game. Every time I'd been, we'd always won games. So I was thinking to myself, if I go there, maybe there's a bit of good luck. But no.
Yeah, and ironically, every time I've been to the Emirates, we've won. The only game we lost, when we lost to United 3-1 in 2017. That was the only time I've been to the Emirates when we lost.
Was that when
De Gea had
Lingard moonwalked?
Did the Millie Rock? Yeah.
The Millie Walk. Yeah.
When De Gea had 11 arms, I remember I was sat where I was sat. I'm watching. Well, obviously this first half, second half, but when Lacazette scored, it was that end for me. So that my left hand side, because De Gea had fucking 11 arms, man. Yeah, it's the only game I've been to the Emirates where we lost. Every other game we won. And I haven't watched a draw.
So it's a United curse that every time they come to our place.
I mean, we've both gone there watching Arsenal versus United, and we both lost. And the thing is, I could have gone to that FA Cup game, but I couldn't really because one of my brothers he's a member or something, and I'm not.
Okay.
It was something anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of wasn't bothered because I wouldn't have really wanted to. I believed that we'd win, but in my head it was like I shouldn't believe that we should win only because of what I've been seeing around it, and so in the end I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go. I'm glad I didn't watch that, but because for what I saw, I did the watch along, didn't I? And
that's probably the only time I've gone to a game and that I probably regret going, if I'm honest.
I could have gone to the EFL Cup final in 2018. I was literally going to go to that game, but because I saw how we were playing running up to that final, and I knew it was going to rain that weekend, I texted the guys and said, "No, I'm changing my mind, I'm not going." And I'm glad I didn't go. I mean, part of me wish I went just for the Wembley experience of watching Arsenal at Wembley. But at the same time, I knew that what happened would happen, that we'd play shit, essentially, like not score and get panned. And that's exactly what happened. And I thought, well, I didn't go. And then City then come back to London to beat us 3-0 at the Emirates. Couldn't make this up. This is Wenger's last season as well. You know what I mean? And that's how he goes out. Thoughts on Andrea Berta? Well,
he's going to turn it around. Listen,
I'm hoping he will.
He's the bright spot.
So do I. I hope so as well.
A complete joke, comedy, generation. Let's face it. It's been that long. Let's just hope Berta, man, he's going to be. He sees what's going on. He's going to say, right. Let's.
I hope he's given enough power for a start as well.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I'm looking at.
Because I'm hoping he's going to turn around and be like, look, like you man, we need to sign a striker, yeah, and I can identify the type of striker you need. This is the type of striker you need, so we're getting this guy. I hope he lays it down that look, I can see what's needed here, and I'm going to get it for you, man. I'm going to, whatever he has to do, needs to do whatever. To get
look, if
he's got a track record, so
he's got to be good. Look what Ati have achieved.
Yeah.
Look what Ati have achieved in Real. Nobody goes in and takes the wins the league. Come on, apart from Barca or Real, that's an amazing achievement for Simeone. I'm telling you.
Yeah, just we know we're going to be stuck with Arteta now. So I mean,
And Kurt said he's saying in the chat, City could still have a better season than Arsenal. He's right because they could still win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I highlight that comment earlier. Yeah, they're still
Yeah.
good. I mean,
that's the maddest thing about it.
Like Villa, City, Forest. Who's the other one left in the FA Cup?
Villa, Forest, City,
Oh, Palace.
Palace. Yeah.
Palace, City, Villa, Forest. Then you've got Chelsea, who's still in a cup competition. Man United and Tottenham are still in the cup competition. Obviously Liverpool are going to win the league. These teams could have a better season than us because let's face it, are we really going to win the Champions League? Are we really going to win the league? Let's just say Liverpool lose the next 5 games. Are we really going to win our next 5? You know what I mean? Like, this is it. One of them. Hopefully, Berta brings us at least 3 good forwards, and we ain't getting that many. we ain't getting that many.
Not in the same window anyway. Yeah.
We'll in all fairness, we'll get 2 at best. One of them will be somebody that's like a name, and then the other one will be just. Look, I mean, when you look at, we got Sterling on loan. When you know we can do that, let's just hope Berta makes sure that we don't do that again. But I can't for the life of me.
I mean, if it was the 2021 Sterling, fine, I'm all fair for it. But this is the worst Sterling that we got.
That 2019 Sterling was insane.
Yeah,
his stats. I saw a screenshot, and it was from 2019, one of the games, and it highlighted like his stats. And it's like everyone was sucking off Mo Salah, what he's doing now and everything like that. But Sterling was like clear of him for the numbers and everything. It's like that. What happened to that Sterling? I think he needs to cut his hair. He needs to shave his hair, because I'm telling you, when footballers piss about with the hair, it changes them. Remember when Adebayor did it? You know what I mean? Cut his hair short and he started playing shit. Giroud did it. You know what I mean? Every time
Trent was playing shit as well when he had the dreads. He was playing shit. I don't know if that was to do with him being more in defense rather than in midfield, but
I
felt like he was
himself while he was wearing dreads, though, didn't he?
What's that?
He kind of made a name for himself while he was wearing the dreads, though, wasn't he?
Made his name when
I suppose he was, but
I don't know. Players just leave your hair alone, man. If you were playing good and you had your hair pink, you stay pink. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. If I'm balling out with pink hair, I'm not cutting it. I'm sticking with it. If I start, remember Ben White? He did that stupid goofy color. Start playing shit.
What happened to Ben White?
And Saka when he did put a bit of blonde in his hair.
Yeah. See what I mean? Like, just leave your hair alone. Sterling, since he grew his hair and plied it and everything like that.
Didn't Foden dye his hair in that 2021 World Cup as well?
Oh yeah, blonde or something, wasn't it?
Sure, blonde, yeah.
Every time these players mess about with the hair, want to do something different, they start. Let Harry Kane go bald. Watch him fall off. You know what I mean? We'll start not scoring and everything like that. You know what I mean? There's
do a David Beckham? What, do a David Beckham, yeah?
Yeah, or plait his hair.
Who you got for the Champions League this year?
It's what?
Who have I got for the Champions League?
Who have got for the Champions League?
I mean, saying Real Madrid would be very easy, wouldn't it? But
I'm saying PSG.
Yeah, I think PSG as well.
PSG is a very good bet. Very good.
And if they win it, and if they do win it, if PSG do win it, do you know what it would go to show? It would go to show that you don't need a world-class front three to win it. Because remember, look, they had who did they have? They had Mbappe. They had who was the other two they had?
Messi and Neymar. They had that as a front three, and they couldn't win it.
The team is more important, and
the team's more important. Yeah.
seen this time round. I'm very impressed with PSG. They can absolutely win it this year. But I'm gonna go Real Barca, one of them two, and I was gonna go Barca. I'm gonna lean more to Barca than
I mean, Real Madrid Barca final, that would be very interesting because it's like, you know,
Yeah, they're in a title race together as well in La Liga, so they're competing on a lot of fronts at the moment.
Yeah, it's like Barca haven't lost the Champions League final since what? Was it early 90s or something like that? Or might have been even before then. And Real Madrid
Also, what's the trophy count between Barcelona and Real? Because obviously I know they got this El Clasico rivalry and that, but what's the actual total trophy count between those two teams? I don't even know.
No, but Real.
I'll look it up.
Because I know Liverpool United have this kind of rivalry where they're almost eclipsing one another in the total trophy count. But
Real Madrid eclipse Barcelona. There's no doubt about it. They eclipse.
Well, obviously, I know they've got way more Champions League. That's obvious.
Wait. It says here, Real Madrid have currently won 122 trophies, while Barca won 128 trophies throughout their history, according to this.
Who's won more their league titles? Barcelona.
So Real Madrid, under this rule, Real Madrid have won 14 league titles, 6 Copa del
Rey.
Copa del Rey, yeah.
Generalissimo, whatever it says. 1 Copa whatever that is. 6 year. I don't know. Hold on a minute. That's being goofy.
I'll take Hansi Flick at Arsenal, you know, if he wins the La Liga this season. That's somebody I would say.
Yeah.
That boat sailed a long time ago. I said that
I know.
Years ago. Listen, no way. What? Because I really feel it's going to be their seat. It's either going to be them or PSG. They're probably my two favourites. But then again, you know what Real are like. They can beat anyone.
Well, thing is, if it's a Spanish team in the final against anybody, then you'd have to go with the Spanish team because a Spanish team hasn't lost a cup final to a foreign team since 2004, I think it was. I read, or somewhere in the mid 2000s was the last time a Spanish club lost a cup final of any like even nation or whatever. And that's the last time a Spanish club have lost a cup final to a non-Spanish side or something like that.
That's a crazy stat.
Yeah, it's insane. Like the Spanish don't lose unless it's against each other.
I would like to see somebody else other than Madrid win it though for a change.
Inzaghi.
Yeah, if I had to, I mean, thing is, I wouldn't want PSG because they're a club like us, haven't won it. You know what I mean? And then they'll get added to the list of clubs that can join in on the banter that Arsenal never won it.
Yeah.
And who else is still in it? There's obviously us, Madrid, PSG, Villa. Then there's Barca, Bayern. Is it Dortmund is still in it?
Dortmund, yeah.
And then there's one more. Who's that last one? Is it one of the French clubs or something? Let me have a look.
I definitely wouldn't want Villa. I don't think I want Villa winning it because you know what fans are gonna do about when because it's Unai Emery. Oh, but look at Unai Emery, he's won it before. Yeah. This is what they'll do.
Milan is still in it.
Who?
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan. Oh,
I forgot they were still in it, man.
Yeah, and Inter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've got Bayern.
They're a dark horse, Inter are definitely. But I'm still gonna lean towards Barca, PSG, and Real.
Yeah, I'd say Real, PSG, or either Real, PSG, or probably Barca. Maybe Inter. I don't know.
I think you know what the Champions League is like. It's especially when you get to the one-off games, right? I just feel Barcelona, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lord mercy.
Yeah.
I can't stopping them. Like, you know what I mean? Once you get to a semi-final, a final, I can't see anyone stopping them. Even Real,
Yeah.
I can't see anyone.
And then you think to yourself, imagine if we get to the final and then we end up getting Barcelona. I think we'll lose again.
Yeah,
If we
absolutely.
Yeah,
get to the
I do as
final
well.
and we get Barcelona, everyone will be saying, "Oh, revenge for 2006." Then we'll lose again. It's just like Dortmund. Like when you look at these clubs that have got to Champions League finals that may have won a Champions League at least once in the history, like Dortmund, they won it in '97. Since then, every time they got to a final, they lost. You know what I mean? Like that must be a horrible feeling because it's not easy to just get to the final as it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got Atletico Madrid, you know, losing in a derby in a final, and they've never won it. Like imagine if Spurs had won the Champions League. Let's take Europa League because they've won that before. Let's say we got to Europa League finals with Spurs and they were beating us. You know what I mean? It's like imagine how horrible that would be. We've never won it. They have, and then we play them in 2 finals and we lose them. You know what I mean? That's I kind of felt for the Dortmund fans when they lost against Real Madrid. Like, you know,
but you know,
years prior, you got to the final and you lost that Wembley.
In some of their later games, Dortmund had the feeling about this new Dortmund side. It's more in hope. I remember that last Dortmund side that actually won. The ginger-haired fella was playing. Was it Sammer? Matthias Sammer, the defender, the German defender. Then, oh
yeah.
I think that's when the last time Dortmund won. Dortmund back
then.
then.
You're about wait. Oh, right.
Dortmund, yeah, they played with conviction. This Dortmund, it's like Arsenal. It's not real conviction and strength. It's weak. It's like Arsenal. You can feel it, sense it. Like, you know, they're not Dortmund. They're under a real strong team. They're folding. Like under a real, they can go far, but under a real strong team, they're getting beat. You know.
Let me ask this question. Be honest. Do you think in your lifetime you will ever see Arsenal win the Champions League?
No.
For as long as you can possibly live. Let's just say we will live till. Let's say you'll each live to 115 years old. Do you think in 115 years' time, whenever how far away that is from you, do you think you'll ever see Arsenal lift the Champions League?
There's just something about the energy that Arsenal have.
I don't think so, personally.
Experience and what the energy that it's just what the fuck is going on. It just seems normal for us to be out of it, or it's just not going to happen. So no, and it's a horrible thing to say as a fan. But
I actually think I have a better chance of seeing England lift a World Cup again than see us win the Champions League.
True.
Yeah,
that's mad, and even us seeing England lift a World Cup, I don't even know if I see that happen. I know we've got Thomas Tuchel now, but I think there's a better chance of us lifting a World Cup than Arsenal winning the Champions League.
Yeah, I think in our lifetime we'll see England win the Euros. I'm not sure about the World Cup. I think
Tuchel.
I do think England under Tuchel will win something, and I don't think it'll be the World Cup. I think it'll be the Euros. I think it'll win.
Probably
at some point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
the Champions League for Arsenal.
Big mistake. Big mistake.
I can't see it. I can't see. But then again, if you was to talk to a City fan in the mid 90s or late 90s, and you said to them, "Do you think you will ever win a Champions League in your lifetime?" A lot of them probably would have said the same thing.
Of course,
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
how times change from then to now. Look what they are now. There's going to be somebody else that's going to be like that.
But that's why we need to see things change at our club for us to have belief that we might actually win it. If things stay the way they are, then how can we ever believe that we're going to win it?
Yeah,
we need to see things change. Yeah,
so like with the league title, like in all fairness, as much as what people might say about Leicester, when you think about what Leicester have achieved in, say, the Premier League era, they won the EFL Cup in like 2000, I think it was. I think they beat Spurs or something, and then they've been chilling in the Championship and whatever and blah blah blah. Then they came up, and then they ended up winning the Premier League. Then they ended up winning the FA Cup. Even took a Community Shield. Like, they literally conquered domestically since, let's just say, since 92, when the Premier League began. Leicester have conquered domestically, really. They just did it in a wider space of time. And you look at stuff like that, and you think to yourself, because I think to myself, when you're looking at Burnley, you're looking at Bournemouth, Brentford, and stuff like that. Somebody's going to do something like that. Somebody's going to win something, and you think, whoa, look at Newcastle. They just won the EFL Cup. First trophy since 55.
I was happy for them as well.
Yeah, I was happy for them as well.
Yeah.
And like this comment says by Peppermint Freedom, big up to you. I see Newcastle win the Champions League before us. I bet they will.
But look, hold on. Look how many years ago it was, leaving Highbury. Yeah. We're moving to this new stadium so that we can compete. And the reason we're moving to this stadium, so don't worry, we're going to have to watch Thierry Henry, Ashley Cole, Robin Van Persie, everyone leave because we're going to a new stadium, so we can't buy any new players. I lost my train of thought now. But, sorry.
Did any of you remember this simulation? When AI predicted the next 50 years of Champions League winners, and Arsenal wasn't on there. You had let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it.
Come back to me in that.
The question is, will we ever win a league again? Yeah, that's a good question as well.
Oh wait, I found it. I found it. Oh, it got 2024 wrong anyway. But let me just right. Let me share my screen. But yeah, will we ever win the league again? That's the thing. That's another thing where I'm thinking, in our lifetime, you just think to yourself, surely at some point. But then again, Spurs haven't won the league title since '61. Look how many people have lived and died since then.
Yeah, but that's
But let me show you the simulation. Oh my days! Oh my days!
The last time Spurs won the league. Last time Spurs won the league, like fucking Coronation Street had started.
Yeah.
Open held up the coach.
So it said 2024 that Barca were going to win it. They didn't win it. It says this year Man U are going to win it. They're not even in it. So it says next season it'll be Bayern, Liverpool, City back to back, AC Milan, Real Madrid back to back, PSG, Tottenham, Sporting, Roma, Newcastle. I mean, look at it. And then Atletico Madrid. 3.
Wow.
Wolves. You know it's banter when they're putting all these men on, and you're not seeing Arsenal on there.
Fully.
You know what I mean? Juventus.
You got Chelsea on there as well.
Yep. Is that Villarreal, isn't it? Torino, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Malmo, FF.
What's that 2040, 2041? Was that Atletico?
Yeah, it's 3-peat.
Yeah.
They got 2039.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's a 3-peat. You got Celtic on there, you got Leicester on there, Forest again in 2064, Rangers back to back, Ajax back to back. Look at this. And the thing is, when you look at, let's ignore obviously Real Madrid didn't win it then and City won it then. So let's ignore 2024 and 2025 because those were wrong, right? And you look at the next few, that could happen. But when you start going down from after 2032 and you look at all these teams that are winning it, for all we know, shit might change for these man, and at least one of them might win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2033, you got PSG, you got Tottenham, Sporting, Roma, Newcastle. We're not Liverpool like, but then you got Atletico, and then you got Wolves. How do we know these man might not get money, start doing bits, and then win the Champions League?
Yeah.
Giants and Wolverhampton. That's one big club. Like Newcastle.
Imagine Wolves winning it. Imagine that. Wolves, Leicester. I don't know who the fuck that is. Who is that? What's that star there? I don't even know what that is. You got Brentford on there.
Brentford.
Oh, fuck off my local.
Just
Brentford.
Just imagine that.
If Brentford win the Champions League, I need to get out of the country because I live like 10-minute drive from Brentford. I'm getting out of the country if Brentford never do that. Seriously, Rod, you probably know because you were from around there, wasn't it?
Yeah, my mate Jamie Oxley. He lives he lives just across the the street from the ground. What's it, Dragon Man? Is it Dragon Man Estate down there?
Oh yeah. What the old ground you mean?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
Of the years because I've had to move up to Durham. Been up here for years now, but
if Brentford win the Champions League, I am getting on that plane. I
is,
swear to God.
The thing is, when looking at this list, when you're looking at all those on there, and you think to yourselves in what 50, 60, 70, 80 years time, at least a few of them are going to do it.
Yeah.
At least a few of them are going to do that. They're going to at least win it once. And the thing is, I still can't, not even AI can see Arsenal doing it, man. They couldn't even say, oh, Arsenal can only win the Champions League via AI. They couldn't even do that. They couldn't even do that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the more I look at stuff like this, the more I think to myself, you know what, Arsenal, just hurry up and just win the Champions League. Because the thing is, for me, right, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but when it comes to the Champions League, I just feel like, how can I say this without it sounding weird? I don't want to say it's overrated, but all people talk about is Arsenal have never won it. They don't really care about numbers. The only way they'll care about numbers is if Arsenal get their hands on one. And then they'll start saying, oh, we've won it multiple times. But
oh yeah,
when you listen to everybody talk about Arsenal never won the Champions League, it's like all we then have to do is just at least get our hands on it. And then everything we've done prior to all that, 30 league titles.
Forgotten. I remember you made a video about it.
That looks more sexy now with the Champions League trophy in front of them, type of thing. And it kind of gives me it makes me think that if I win the Champions League once, if Arsenal win the Champions League once in 10 years, and then for the next 10 years, we're winning a couple of league titles here and there, it won't be so bad because nobody can say we haven't won it now. Nobody can have that. We don't have that hoodoo over our head that we've never won it. Like we don't get bantered because we haven't won the EFL Cup since 93. We don't get bantered for that. Everybody knows we've won it.
No,
it's just it's been a long time. But when it comes to the Champions League, the massive hold on us is you've never won it. And
we've never won it. Yeah,
these man care about. So
people were saying this to me right before Chelsea and even I was having this argument with people when I was working at Car Farm Warehouse at the head office in North Acton, when we used to come out and we used to be in the castle, the pub up there after. And we'd be in there every day after work, and it was all Man United, and they'd be saying to us, we haven't won the Champions, and just then, and I can't even remember how long ago this was, 2000, something like that, and just look how long ago this was. I had to hear it all that time, and just wanting to get that monkey off your back.
It's a hold that's. It's basically like. It's like basically you got your friends, you got a group of friends, and one of them's still a virgin, and they keep saying you've never had any pussy in your life, like you haven't done it. You haven't experienced it. And then you think to yourself, well, I just need to get laid once then, at least, because then I can say, yeah, I'm a man now, type of thing. It's the same thing with Arsenal. It's
Get off your back, so to speak.
get our hands on the Champions League trophy, and everyone can shut up. Because then all they then talk about is you haven't done it as a double, you haven't done it as a treble, you haven't won it this many times. Which, to be honest, I wouldn't care anyway, because all we were told is that we've never got our hands on it. So
I remember
get our hands on it.
But this is why, right? This is why I've had this debate with a few Arsenal fans, especially 2 seasons ago. I asked of some fans, right, if you had to pick, would you rather win the Premier League or the Champions League? It actually astonishes me the amount of fans that actually say they'd rather win the Premier League. Look, I get we haven't won the league for 20 odd years. All right, cool. But that's not the same as never winning something at all. We've never won the Champions League at all. So I'm just like, would you not rather get that hoodoo off your back rather than win a league title that you've been trying to do for God knows how long? Do you know what I mean?
Not just that, Warren. It's not just that. It's like in the world of football, and you got to give this credit, all credit where credit is due. You become a true giant of the game when you lift the European trophy, the European Cup. Always will be. It is the pinnacle. It is the
100%. Yeah.
See, for me,
after the World Cup, that's probably what the next biggest one.
And we will never be classed as a great team because we've never had a great team. We've had good teams. We've never had great teams because we've never won. We've never won it. And until we lift the European Cup, it's not good enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You see, I've had this question. Me and my brother have asked each other this question, and it's a bit hard for me. I lean more to the Premier League, and I'll tell you why. It's only because I really want us to get more league titles on the board. I really want us to stack them up because people obviously we need the Champions League. Like we need it, but at the same time, we've gotten this much recognition, we've gotten this much talk alongside all these clubs that won it, and we've never won it. It almost feels like, status-wise, for how Arsenal's looked, it almost feels like if you don't win it this time round, then it's not that bad as long as you've won the league in recent times. But at the same time, you look at it and it's like, well, everyone keeps saying you've never won it, you've never won it, you've never won it. And the Champions League, although it's a prestige competition, not to say that it's overrated or I'm down talking it, but it's still a cup competition. Whereas the league, it's 38 games, you have to beat everybody else to try and win it. That's what makes it hard for me to just pinpoint, I'll choose Champions League over the Premier League. Like, if we win the Champions League this season, and then somebody says, what would you take next season, having just won the Champions League, the league or the Champions League? I'll be more inclined to choose the Champions League just to retain it. You know what I mean? That retention, if that's the word, of that, I'll probably lean towards that. But for me, it's because really and truly, and we all want this, the day or the season that Arsenal win the Champions League, I want the Premier League at the same time.
Of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Come on.
That's
of course.
Obviously, yeah.
That's like it's to a point where, even though as an Arsenal fan, it's hard to.
But why do you be careful? Because you don't want to sound like Lance here when he said if you won the Champions League but not the league, you're not the best in Europe. Remember he said that. Yeah. So be careful.
It's one of it's because I don't know. I think it's the ultimate. I don't know what it is, but let's say we get to the Champions League semi-final and then win the league, but we got to the Champions League semi-final. There's going to be a bitter taste in my mouth that
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
we didn't take it that bit further.
I'm
Even
happy.
though I'll be happy as fuck, but
I'm
there'll be that little bit of a bitter taste. Now, if we won the Champions League and finished 4 points behind Liverpool, I'll be happy as fuck. But there'll be that little bit of bitter taste in my mouth that, oh, we didn't get both.
But you see, for me, right, it would kind of depend how we go out the semis. If we go out like completely fighting and we just lost to absolutely much better team, then I'll be looking at it like, all right, cool. Well, at least you put your all in. But if we completely collapse in that final, I'll be looking at it like, come on, like we could have gone for that double, and we just couldn't hold on earth. So for me, it would kind of depend how we go out.
Yeah, it's like, especially like you look at the Emirates, you look at the banners that show the years that we won so trophies, and it's like, you know, the dream is to see that the Champions League was alongside the league. I think as well at the same time, it's because if Arsenal did that kind of double as well at the same time, like, we'd be untouchable.
Yeah.
That's why I say if Arteta does that, he can stay. If he does that. If he wins one of them, for me, if he wins one of them, leave on a high. Just say, look, I got you this. Now, you know, that's where I am, because for me wanting that to out, as I said earlier, is big. It's bigger than him just not winning trophies. It's more than that. So if I know there's a little bit more detrimental to come, I'd rather it be we just won two of the biggest trophies. You know, I'd take, you know, for example, he won the FA Cup in 2020, 2021. You know, he didn't respond. Didn't really respond that well. You know, finished 8th again, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody said you'll win the Champions League and the Premier League this season, and then you'll finish 2nd next season, someone said that will happen. You know what I mean? From here, I'm taking it. From here. You know what I mean? But I don't know. If somebody said you'll win one of them and do that, I don't know. I've got a bit of a different thought. But I think that's just me being hungry for a double. Because I've been saying for ages, just win me 2 trophies. You know,
I'm kind of at that point myself where I feel like the way these 5 years apart plus years have gone, especially those last 3 years, because I do include that season, the 2021-22 season where we bottled top 4 as well. That gets included for me as well. Since then, I feel like we're definitely owed a double, because the amount of capitulation we've seen in these last few years, I agree with you. I think we are owed a double. The only singular trophy I will accept, where I'll say Arteta can stay, is if he wins us the Champions League. If he wins the Champions League, I'll be all right. All right, I'll give you another season, because I'll look at that and say, you know what, Emery never done it, Wenger never done it. Our manager before that never did. I can't remember his name before my time, but I forgot his name. Rod, you might know. But yeah, if he does that, then I'll be like, all right, cool, you get another season, because you've managed to win the ultimate trophy that no one else in our history has done.
Yeah.
But if he won us just a cup or even 2 cups or just a league, nah, sorry, it's not enough for me. I need more than that.
I mean, if I see like, say if we win either one, obviously I don't expect either one, but if I see it, then, you know, you can look at things and be like, you know what, this and this and this. But from here, you know, if we just win the league after, because if we did all this, struggle like this, and then we end up pipping Liverpool to the league, from here, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, are you either going to improve on this now, and then we're going to go even further, or it's just going to be another Wenger of 2004. He did the ultimate thing domestically, and then since then just didn't follow it up like that kind of thing. It's one of those, but it's
Well, I think what Ferguson once said about Wenger was correct. In ever since United ended an unbeaten run back in 04 after 49 games. Like Wenger's brain just got scrambled. Like Ferguson said this, and I think he's spot on because I feel like ever since that game, the things Wenger went on to do after that, I don't know. He kind of just lost his touch for me.
Yeah. FA Cup merchant.
Absolutely. He outfoxed himself. He outfoxed himself, didn't he, Wenger?
Really did.
He outfoxed himself. Definitely. Yeah. Too many people saw that. It was painful to see, but it was just like, you know what, Wenger? It's, as well as you did, you got to go now because it did get bad, didn't it? He outfoxed it. He mugged himself off in the end.
Yeah. It's a shame because he would have gone out. He would have left Arsenal with a much better legacy than he did had he left a lot earlier than he did. But the fact that he overstayed his welcome, it just like I can't ever take away for his achievements, but he just would have gone out a lot better had he left it earlier. Like look at Ferguson; he left at the perfect time.
Yeah, I think
without kind of affecting his legacy like that.
Yep.
Even though, to be fair, you could argue Ferguson was holding a stinking ship. Like let's be real, because look at the players they lost in over the years. Like they never replaced CR7. They never did they ever really replace Tevez? I don't think they did.
You can't replace.
So he was holding a sinking ship.
How do you replace?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How do you replace them? But players like that, they come every now and then, don't they? I mean, I hated him around. I never used to rate him, obviously, but obviously because he was a United player. But the more I watched him, he raised his game every year. He was an absolute phenomenon. He was an amazing player. So you can't replace players like Ronaldo. You just can't.
No.
It's gonna be hard. I mean, obviously, even when Ronaldo went back to Man U, he was still like their top scorer and everything like that. Like you can't take that away from him. And then
definitely
they thought
not.
they wanted bigger things when they terminated his contract, and then they lauded up Ten Hag, only to find out, oh yeah, Ten Hag is the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd have him in the team now. Ronaldo's a good player, and the thing is, he knows how to score goals. Or he's always a threat. There's even if he's like, there's just even if he was another couple of years, he's definitely got a few more years left in him.
Yeah, I'd take him right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Bang him up top with the ball to him.
I'd have Ronaldo in the now. He is a danger. I mean, we're talking about Raheem Sterling. Are you fucking crazy? Question.
Honestly, I tried with Sterling. I thought to myself, let's just hope that Arteta can merge him into Prime Perez or something. We saw what he did with Kai Havertz. You know, it's undeniable that Arteta, he did get the best out of Kai Havertz. He did do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll give him that.
Maybe he can mend a bit of the parts that were missing from Sterling. But I don't know. At the same time, he's been misusing him. He doesn't bring him on in games where he could take the load off another player, and that's the problem with him.
But Sterling's fall off is just so dramatic. Like,
yeah.
How do you go from being one of the best players at 2021 Euros to what you are now? 4 years later? It's crazy.
He needs to cut his hair. I think he needs to do.
Yeah,
he needs his hair. Since he grew that, it's been very.
I think it's just age. I think he's just
yeah.
You can't. There's only some players.
You say that it's age, but then look at what CR7's still doing, and he's how old? 40 now?
But he's a phenomenal. He's one of the world's greatest players. I never used to like him, but I've got to give him his due. The man's a phenomenon. His mindset, everything. He's a beautiful player. I don't like him, but he goes out there on that pitch and he's fucking phenomenal. He scores
100%. Like, I'm more of a Messi fan myself, but I can't deny what CR7's achieved. You know.
Yeah, my thing with all this is because we've heard players like Ibrahimovic talk about how he's a god and he's this and he's that, right? And here's my thing about Ibrahimovic, right? He says all this. He said all this about he's a god. He's this. He's the absolute supreme. Yet when he's left the big club, they've gone on to win the Champions League. How's that work out? You know what I mean? Like he left Barcelona. They won the Champions League the season after. He left Inter Milan. They won the Champions League after. You know what I mean? When it came to Sweden versus Portugal for the, I think it was for the World Cup of 2014 to qualify. It was literally whoever wins the match qualifies for that World Cup. It was Sweden versus Portugal. Sweden lost 3-2. Ibrahimovic got the brace for Sweden. Ronaldo got a hat-trick for Portugal. And then when Sweden didn't have Ibrahimovic in their side, they qualified for, was it Euros or World Cup or whatever, and they were doing all right. So I'm sorry, when I'm hearing players like Ibrahimovic call themselves gods, I'm sorry, unless you name Ronaldo or Messi, I think you should leave that alone.
Phenomenon. He was a true phenomenon. He's up there. These guys, all right. They're not, for me, Messi's not as good as Maradona and those guys of that ilk for me, because Messi, I don't think as well he would even stand up back in the 80s. There's too much kicking in the game. He'd get fouled out the game. I know Messi, no way he'd be able to run up and down.
My personal favorite of all time is R9. For me personally.
Oh, he's brilliant.
It's hard for me to compare. Like when people do this comparison to, say, Maradona to Messi or whatever, when people compare players from like different times, it's a bit hard because it's like, as you said, Messi wouldn't stand up in the 80s.
He wouldn't.
In that kind of football because they get kicked around. So for me, it's hard to hear the comparisons of them. You know what I mean? Because Pele was the best in the world at one point. You know what I mean? He was considered the best in the world. And it's like, would he today be considered the best in the world if he was playing in today's football? Because when I see them clips of him running around them players, I'm sorry, I'm seeing players not knowing, like the players didn't look like they've played football before.
Zico was better than Messi. Zico, he was better than Messi. I'm telling you, Zico, there was a much better player than Messi. Much better. People are just under the assumption that we come in, the more we into our times that we're coming, that players are just always better. Nah. As great as I think that Ronaldo and a great player that he is, and he is, like, do you know what I mean? I think there's just more dangerous players than him. I mean, some of the midfield players, like, just before, in the 90s, just what Figo, Zidane, just some of the players were just amazing.
Yeah, because you see him do some of the things, and then obviously as a kid, you think to yourself, "Oh, I can do that." I remember, like, it was a thing to try and do certain Ronaldinho skills. Like, it was a thing to try and do it. As soon as the ball's at your
feet, it was like the same in my school as well. Yeah.
You try and do those things, thinking, "Oh, you know what I mean?" It was a household name, a household skill kind of thing, and today in today's world, there'll be kids that will be like that with Messi.
Ronaldinho for me had a lot more potential than he did. If he just taken care more of his
he's a great. He's an old.
Yeah.
Ronald.
He is a great. No. He's a great. Don't get me wrong. Fully rate him. What I'm saying is, I think he could have done even more than what he did. I really do.
I know what you mean.
But in that short space of time that he was about, let's make no mistake, he was the Don while he was about.
Oh yeah.
He didn't have to try that hard. He just turned up and did what he needed to do, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like when people talk about Barcelona, they like to talk about that Barca team that had players like Xavi, Iniesta, and all that. But I still remember the Barca team of 06 and around then, of when he had the likes of Ronaldinho and all those other players around him. That was some team that they had as well.
World Cup when he scored that goal, that free kick.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We were watching that at work at the car phone warehouse. Oh, it went nuts, mate. Oh.
And I just remember that when they made a mistake and it allowed Owen to score. It's like England fans peaked at that point because they all thought, oh, we might actually do it if we could beat
And it was always.
them. But then I remember Rivaldo and Ronaldinho came to end it very quickly for us.
Yeah, that free kick, the way he just ran.
It always goes to tits up.
But you see that free kick, right? I think that was purposely done because look. Do you remember how quick he took that free kick?
Intentional. He's a genius.
That was really quick.
He was a true genius. There's no doubt about it. He was the best player in the world.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, for me, he was better than Messi. He was better. He was the best player in the world while he was about. Messi's had the better career and all that because he's got the longevity and whatnot.
That's what I was going to say. The longevity, yeah.
Got to give him his credit. If the man don't want to run around a bit, that's for him. He doesn't have.
But that's why I say I think Ronaldinho had a lot more potential than he did because imagine if he had the longevity that CR7 and Messi had.
Yeah,
he would have been a lot even more legendary than he is now, and people would be like, Messi who?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, Ronaldo, he's got that robotic, sort of like disciplinarian side. That's what makes his sort of greatness. But this greatness that Ronaldinho had is different. It's true footballing genius. It's boom.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's, for me, Ronaldo, it looks like he's got the ultimate discipline. That's why he's still in the shape that he is for the age that he is, and he can still do the things that he can do at his age. That takes a shitload of discipline.
Yeah,
you can't be having days off.
No,
getting to that level. You know what I mean?
And that's got to
be shredded at 40 years old, and you know what I mean. You're out jumping, players much younger than you and everything like that. Right, that's just a shitload of discipline. That man. I think that's what Warren's on about in terms of like Ronaldinho. If he'd just took it to that next level, if Ronaldinho had the ultimate discipline,
particularly with the fitness and the diet and the drinking and all that stuff he was doing.
Party, I can see it from his point of view. He wants to run around like, do you know what I mean? I'm a football fan. Like football for me to see, but I can see it from his point of view. He's from the favelas and all that. He's probably thinking, I'm not bothered. You know what I mean? I've won the World Cup. I've won the Champions League. I've won everything. I'm not too bothered now. I'm just gonna run and chase pussy and drink. He's a young man.
So you got that complacency. Yeah. I know what you mean though. He won it all. He's won. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
If you think about it, you've won a league title in whatever country you played in.
Won the World Cup.
You've probably won some cups. You've won the World Cup. You won the Champions League. I mean, there's players that have done all that and are still playing today and still whatever. But
no, Cristiano Ronaldo has never won the World Cup.
No, I'm about like Ronaldinho. Like he won all those things, and it's like all now. Maybe if Ronaldo had probably won the World Cup, maybe. I don't know. I think he'd still keep the same discipline. If anything, what keeps Ronaldo going, I think one of the things that keeps him going is I could possibly still win a World Cup.
Yes.
I've probably still got that in me to help Portugal win, because he stuck around and helped Portugal win the Euros and everything like that. Been to 2 Euro finals and he's won one. For somebody of visibility, why wouldn't you stick around as long as you can?
Absolutely.
And at least try and win the World Cup with Portugal?
Absolutely. And you do have a realistic chance.
Portugal got some ballers.
That's what I'm trying to say. You have a chance. And when you're Cristiano Ronaldo, you might be losing a little bit of pace or whatever. It doesn't matter. You just play him up, up higher. This man still, he's got it. It's up here. You know what it's like when two players are going for a ball. He's that type of player, innit? He's getting to the ball first. Or when they're jumping for a ball. You know, extra inch higher. It's amazing. His jump, his leap. He's an incredible athlete, man.
One thing that would really F him up is the second he retires and Portugal win the FA Cup. I think that will burn him. That will burn him. Imagine if that happened. He retires. He's like, right, I'm retired from football now. And then the next World Cup that comes around, Portugal win it. You know what I mean? Imagine if that happened, and he'd be thinking, if only I stuck around a little bit longer. And that's what I think is keeping him going, knowing.
But then
it could be this year. It could be, you know what I mean?
But then there's another scenario. You could look at it and say, but what if I'd stuck around and they hadn't won it? What if just to play devil's advocate? What if him leaving was to help the team?
Yeah.
Look at it in a way where, well, we're not relying on CR7 anymore. Yeah. We're trying to do a bit like what PSG. Look, PSG don't have a front three of Mbappe, Neymar, and that anymore, and they're looking more likely to win a Champions League than they ever did under them. So you could look at it in that sense as well.
I don't think Ronaldo was thinking of it like that. If Ronaldo was to retire and then Portugal won the World Cup, he'd be beating himself up thinking, I shouldn't have retired yet. He'd be thinking, I wanted to be the guy that did it. Like, for example, when he got injured in the final of the Euros in 2016, but he was still on the touchline. He was still on the touchline there, like, doing Fergie time and everything like that. He was trying to be involved as much as he could, because he couldn't be on the pitch anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If, like, for example, remember the Champions League final against Liverpool, Real Madrid, when Bale was the man of the show with the overhead kick. Remember the 3 or 4-1 against Liverpool in the Champions League final in 2018.
Oh yeah.
But Ronaldo scored a penalty in that final. Man was cheering like he was the man of the whole match, and it's like, okay, it's good. Yeah, you obviously celebrate a goal, but fam, Bale killed it with that overhead kick, fam. Like, you know what I mean? I remember there was a meme showing Ronaldo's heat map, and it just showed him at the penalty spot and then running down the touchline to celebrate, running down the corner flag. You know what I mean? That's how much people were taking a piss out of him, because it's like, fam, like, you wouldn't do anything much in that Champions League final, but you scored a penalty. Bale was the man of the show because he scored that wonderful overhead kick, which he would have wished it was him that did that, because then he can be in the spotlight for scoring that goal in the Champions League final. That's why I say he won't be thinking, if I retire, it might help Portugal. He won't think like that. Definitely not. he'd be like, I'm staying here. Ronaldo is mad annoying though, setting up that interview, indirectly bashing Messi. What interview? Am I missing something? Ronaldo is elite, but 10 living in that guy's head. I mean, to be fair, having to watch Messi win the World Cup, I'm sorry, that would burn Ronaldo a little bit. It would. I ain't gonna lie, it would burn him. I mean, that would burn him. Because like Messi is won Copa America, which is like their Euros equivalent. And then he's won a World Cup. I mean, the World Cup is the missing piece for Ronaldo. Like, that's what he. If the second Ronaldo wins the World Cup, I think he retires. I think World Cup's next year. If Portugal win it, Ronaldo retires. I think. By the way, before Bale joined Real Madrid, they weren't doing it. Amazing. Yeah. Yep. Real Madrid in 2014. Spurs gave them Madrid. Spurs gave them Bale. We took Ozil from them, and then, Bale was the most crucial signing for Real Madrid. He was. This is the thing. Bale was he was the man there. You know what I mean? Bale was the man. And that final,
He was a great player.
Against Liverpool in 2018. He scored that overhead kick, fam. Like, he did what Ronaldo should have been doing, going off Ronaldo's ability and how he's rated in world football.
No,
Bale did it all in that final.
Was a great player, Bale. I didn't like credit at first, but he was, because he came from Tottenham, so it's like you didn't like him, but you had to give it. He was a special player.
Yeah,
he was.
He did an interview with a Spanish reporter. Yeah, like Bale. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, maybe it's because Bale's Welsh. Maybe if he was called Baleino, maybe he might have been respected a bit more.
No, make no mistake though, he's without doubt one of the best.
One of the best British players in recent times.
Yeah. No, make no mistake though, he's without doubt one of the best.
So what did Ronaldo do to bash Messi? What did he say?
Yeah, no, make no mistake though, he's without doubt one of the best.
So what did Ronaldo do to bash Messi? A bit of feedback.
Yeah, Messi.
I need to know what interview Ronaldo set up.
What's that?
Directly bashing Messi. I want to know what was said.
What's that?
Ronaldo saying things like, "I'm the best player." Oh, shit like that. Right. I mean, Ronaldo's gonna think he's the best, but at the end of the day,
you've got to feel that way.
You've got to. It's just that when it comes to the fans around the world, I'm sorry, they're all what's going to get thrown at him is Messi won the World Cup. That's it.
That's it.
That's what's going to get thrown at him.
It's the same with Arsenal, with us, with the Champions League. Until we win the Champions League, same with Ronaldo, and he can't be. You're not better than Messi. We're not a true giant We're not a true giant until we win the championship.
We need the Champions League to add to the list of what we already have, because that will then make us more sexy in the footballing world, and then everyone can get off our nuts talking about you've never won the Champions League. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think we're winning the Champions League.
I know.
But anyways, I'm just about to end this. I know I think Warren got disconnected, but I can see him down here now. But I'm just about to end the stream. I'll add you back to the stage. He's not connected. It's connecting.
It's hard to see the screen on the phone. Really small.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just about to end the stream. It's been going for 2 hours. This is the longest match preview. Longest match preview ever. But I don't mind because I get to connect with my subscribers, because
respect.
we do things a little bit different around here.
Yeah, good to see Warren. Bruv.
I don't know if it might be in connection.
Yeah, man. I had to come off my phone and battery was dying. I've just come on my iPad on my tablet. I mean, but right. That's cool if you're ending the stream.
But yeah, so as we finish the stream, what we're going with the score for the game against Everton tomorrow afternoon. What score predictions?
1-0.
1-0 to Arsenal.
1-0. Absolutely.
What are we going with, Warren?
Was going to go 1-1, but
because I mean, we haven't won 4 games in a row, so we're on course to win 3. Hang on a minute. We're on course. I'm going to say. We've only won 4 in a row in all competitions, not in the Premier League.
That's fucking. We haven't got started this season. I haven't got started at all.
So, if we beat Everton and Brentford, we'd have won 4 games on the spin this season. So, if we beat Everton the likeliness of us beating Real Madrid even drops as well because we have won 4 in a row, but only in all comps. But even still, this is mad goofy. I mean, my original score prediction is 2-1 Arsenal, but I'll say, you know what? I'm just going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I'm just going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
Well, I'd be happy with that. If they can score more than 1 goal, that'd be a real result.
If anyone wins, whoever wins, it's by 1 goal. It's not nothing special. Nobody's winning 3-0. Not even them. I don't think. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to win. We're not going to score 3 goals. They're unanswered for. They're not going to score 3 goals against us unanswered for. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll just go with 2-1 Arsenal.
All right.
I'll try and be positive as well.
But
yeah, that's it for the match preview. Big up to you coming in. Obviously, I think Warren got disconnected, but big up to him as well. But yeah, tomorrow. Don't think I'll end up watching the game. Sorry, guys, connection tapped me out, but I think it might be 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0. So I've got 1-0s round here. We've got 1-0s. But yeah, my match reaction that might drop Sunday because I'm going to because the Joe Joyce is fighting. I don't know if any of you's into boxing, but Joe Joyce is fighting tomorrow, and I'm going to that. So I'll be meeting everybody. By the time I meet everybody, the game would have been finished. But I'm going to be training tomorrow, so I might get to watch the game. I might bring my tablet with me and just watch it online. Say again.
You got Joe Joyce to win?
No, I'm going with Hergovic.
I was about to say because he's looking quite shaky to me as previous fights. Joe Joyce.
Yeah, I
have lost it. I can't
back him.
No, for me, he doesn't look like a good boxer. He looks like a bit of a Frankenstein, the way he moves and whatnot.
He just got really big, and because he's been hit so many times, I personally think he needs to retire from boxing for his own health. In my personal opinion,
he moves like Frankenstein.
I think he's just going to be an easy target to hit, and I've seen the way Hergovic fights. I think
them Eastern Europeans will spam him up. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'd go with like a KO, a Hergovic to KO Joyce within 6 rounds. To be fair, within 6 or 7 rounds. If it gets that far.
When YG?
Say again.
When is it, the fight?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, tomorrow in Manchester. I'll be going to it. So yeah. So I won't give an immediate match reaction, but I might do a YouTube short of it just depends on what how it goes. But anyways, big up to all yous came in. Big up to you for connecting. And I will I'll be back for the next video. Probably if I don't make a quick video tomorrow, then it'll be Sunday. I'll be back. So I'll catch you then.
Peace, brother. Take care.
Peace.
And if anyone wants to have a come at me,
Come and find me. I'm in the car park now.
because I'm a black belt in karate.
Stop the cap.
Come and have a pop.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.